Hey everyone, it's Jerry at the Fledge, he, him pronouns. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. Today on the show, I've got my friend from Detroit, Kai. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Jerry.
You're welcome. I'm really super happy to have you. One, because what I can learn about your business online, it's very interesting, and I'm excited to learn a lot more because I think you've got some details to fill in for me from what I was able to pick up so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're in Detroit. Is that where you're from, or where you're based?
Well, I'm actually based in Ann Arbor, and I'm originally from China, and I came to US for grad school, and I went to University of Michigan and graduated about 1 year ago, and have been working for a local startup in Ann Arbor for about a year and a half now.
Yeah, that's I I was trying to like kind of see when you went to U of M.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, because I'm from Lansing, they think I went to Michigan State or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm a U of
Yeah.
M grad from 1988, so
Wow.
30 years before you, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because I
I
think
yeah I graduated 2019 last year.
okay, and well, congratulations. What was your degree in for
I
your?
was a master in electrical and computer engineering.
And is that what role you're in at your company?
I, I'm currently doing data science at Shop Intelligence.
Okay. You want to tell us anything you want about you and about your project or your company, your startup.
Yeah, sure. So I have been always interested in entrepreneurship, and during back the time when I was in undergrad. And then when I was in the grad program here at University of Michigan, I had the really good opportunity to participate in their entrepreneurship program. And from that program, we were exposed to the opportunity to work with other local, either local startups or local startup incubators like Economic Development Institute of University of Michigan. And at that time, I really furthered my interest in becoming an entrepreneur. And that's why after graduation, I choose to work at a local startup. And it has been a really great experience because as a startup, there are like significant less employees in your organization, and we all work in a Number Spark, which is a co-working space and incubator for all those startups. And I have the experience, I have the chance to talk to a lot of other startup CEOs and founders to hear their story about how they get started and what they're doing, and learn all those resources and opportunities that's available in the Metro Detroit area for anyone who wants to start their own business. And this year, September, or earlier this year, like March, I had an idea of applying data science and artificial intelligence to the fashion industry, because like I have been reading the news for a really long time, and back when I was like in undergrad, I knew that in fashion industry there is a huge problem that has been plaguing the industry for years, which is like overproduction. And to put a number on that, there are like every year 19 billion of unsold items that were in the whole industry. And all those retailers and manufacturers, they have no other ways to deal with those excessive production. They have to send them to landfill, which is excessive waste for the resource and money for the society as a whole, from like my opinion. And I felt like there gotta be a better way for us to deal with that. And then I come up with the idea of Unbuyist, which is to use data science and artificial intelligence to analyze all the data, that the purchasing data of all the consumers, to understand what their preferences are, and so that when the retailers buying department are making buying decisions, they can use that piece of information as input and help them to reduce the likelihood of their products not being purchased at the end of the season. And that's the whole gist of the idea. And then from that end, I started to participate more actively in the local fashion and tech industry. And this September, I formed a team of 5 with some other friends I know, and we participated in the Detroit Fashion and Tech Hackathon, and we won the first place. And that in that hackathon, we were offered a problem statement from Detroit Denim Co., which is a local denim company, and they are known for their tailored and custom-made fit for their customers. And they have been around for 10 or 15 years, and they also feel the pain of overproduction in their own production line. They are like a combination of manufacturer and retailer. So they were asking us how can they, while they have their own approach, which is transition from made to stock to made to order business model. So these are 2 models are fundamentally different based on their how they operate. So traditionally, all retailers and manufacturers run their business by made to order, made to stock, which is they don't know what is the demand on the market, and they just make speculations or come up with numbers that they saw that would meet the market demand. And oftentimes those numbers are way higher than the actual amount of sales. And that's how the Detroit Denim Co. found themselves end up with a lot of stocks that no one wants to purchase. That's why they wanted to transition to made to order model, which works they only produce products when there is an order from a customer. So in that hackathon, we were asked to design a workflow of how they can bring their customized experience of the jeans from made to deliver in a digitalized form. And we provided this prototype, which allows a customer to choose different dimensions and to choose different values that's available for a pair of jeans. For example, how they want their zipper to look like, what is your body shape, is it slim or is it curvy, and they can also choose their color and fabric and stuff like that. And after they place the order, we allow our prototype was designed to allow the customers to have a real-time tracking of the jeans production process. So for example, when your jeans are cut from a raw material, you can get a notification either through a message or email letting you know that, oh, your pair of jeans is in the production phase of cutting, and then the next phase is to put the front panel and back panel together. And then at the end, we identified the 3 critical steps, and the final step is to take a video or a picture of how the final products look like before the jeans are finally delivered to the customer's address.
That's super interesting. I've got 100 questions to ask you about what you just I mean, I want to talk about Ann Arbor Spark. I want to talk about the pandemic and COVID-19. I want to talk about so many things, but I'm really interested. What's your passion here? Why are you, most people are in love with some problem that they want to solve. Is it waste? What's your passion?
My passion is really just applying data science, because I'm coming from that background, to the fashion industry to see how these technologies can help the fashion industry move faster and be more sustainable. That's my real passion here.
Yeah. Why the fashion industry? Why not water bottles or something like that.
Because I like fashion, and I'm a, like a very, I might be, I'm really into like buying pretty clothes, and um, I would not say I'm a shopaholic because I don't have enough money to support that hobby. But if I have more money, I would definitely buy a lot more stuff. And uh, I just like fashion. It's attracting to me. I like to watch the fashion shows and follow fashion news, and I wanted to be part of it and to see how my background and knowledge can help the industry be more sustainable. Like when I read the news or researching online about how polluted and how bad the waste is, it just hurts me. And I figured there should be better ways to do it.
So I love the problem that you're solving. I love that you're tying together data science. That's my degree too. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
knew that. Back in the 80s, we just called it statistics, but
Yes, I
um,
do know that.
um, but I love what you're doing. We kind of see the back end of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something. The problem's even worse, right? Because even so, you were just talking about what doesn't get sold and what has to go to the landfill.
Yes.
I've got a clothing pantry, and I get clothing donations all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of the clothes that I get are like really expensive clothing. They still
Mm-hmm.
have the tags on them. The
Right.
people never even wore them after they bought them.
Mm-hmm.
So even a post consumer or post purchase,
Yeah.
um, the problem's there as well. And it really, to see the amount of clothing that gets wasted from that perspective, and then to imagine, it just going into landfills. I love the problem that you're working on, and I'm really happy that we get to talk to you on every damn day today.
Thank you.
Um, yeah. So Ann Arbor Spark, what happened during COVID? Did they, their shared space, their incubator, how did that kind of work? Did they shut down? Did you have to go
Yeah, sure.
virtual?
I like to talk about that too. I remember it was back late February. There is some like late February or late March. I don't remember exactly, but there are like a couple cases identified in Washtenaw County, which is where Ann Arbor is at. And then my boss and CEO, Laura, I'm really glad she responded really rapidly. So she pulled all of us together to talk about what we wanted to move forward as a team, because safety is definitely the first priority and concern for all of us. And at that time, I don't think everyone has like the amount of knowledge we have right now about how the disease or the virus spread. and and there was a while I was working from home prior to the Spark building was closed, and I believe they closed either early April or late March, so that when everyone comes in, they have to go through a training program to understand how to follow the uh, the protocols, where you have to wear a mask or wash your hands, and also all the amenities like coffee machine and snack bar are all closed for the purpose of reducing this possibility of spread. And then it has been closed like since that time, and now I believe when the last time I was back there was to use a printer to print some documents, and the whole building was still under shutdown, and there was only one person, front desk person, working there to receive mails. And we're yeah, we have been all working from home since that.
Mhm. So, does that work out for you guys though? I mean, you're a tech company, it's virtual,
Yes.
it's yeah.
Yeah, actually, even before the pandemic, our team, I would say 30% of our team are remote. They are located in California. So, and then after the pandemic, we actually onboarded one more employee, and now it's like half of our company's employees are in California, and the other half are in Michigan. So remote working has been, it's not something like new or challenging for us.
Yeah. Okay. So man, there's so many paths I want to go down. I think about, NPR, they had a show or an episode of one of their shows where they followed a t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
through the entire supply chain from the sourcing or the growing and the manufacturing or picking of the cotton all
Wow.
the way to kind of the story of that t-shirt. Did you ever see that?
Oh,
Uh,
I have not seen that. No.
okay, because the way you were describing that with the pair of jeans, it
Right.
just is interesting to me. And I hope this is okay. When you order a pizza from Domino's and they got the
Yes.
pizza tracker, it's a
Uh-huh.
lot. It
Yeah,
just
a lot
seems
of,
fascinating to me.
yeah, other people told me something similar. Like, isn't this similar to like a Domino's pizza tracking? Responded, I believe so. Like, everything is moving online. Like, there's all the retail stores are closed. What do you expect? Everything has to go online.
And I think it's super cool. I mean, whoever was working on the jeans, you could almost have a story with them and the
Yeah.
interaction with the gene. It gets so personal.
Mm-hmm. And also, study actually find that when a brand offers that type of experience, it deepens relationship between the customer and the brand, and they become more loyal and more like associated with the brand. It builds the trust and recognition.
Well, so many people spend just millions of dollars building their brand.
Mm-hmm.
And with what you're doing, the brand kind of you're recording, you're not creating. You're not doing a fake, non-authentic, I help me make these jeans almost, I'm in the kitchen with the pizza. I'm in the room with the cutters or whatever. I see
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
see how I would be super loyal to this company if I
Mm-hmm.
felt like that, like I was part of it.
Yeah.
And it's so authentic. It is what it is. This is what's happening. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I love it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna loop back to a couple other things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna ask you first, what's something you do every damn day to kind of push your mission forward, to push the needle forward in what you're trying to do?
Yes, I have to be honest, like from the inception of this idea in March, I wasn't like as devoted as I was as the past 2 months. Um, I would just say like what I've been doing for the past 2 months. What I do every day that I believe is helping my business moving forward is first reading. I have a couple of books that are recommended by previous entrepreneurs I have talked to. They recommend me to read those books. One is about sales. I know, like for any startup founder or entrepreneurs, the first thing they have to learn is how to sell your ideas, sell your product, sell to customers, and sell it to investors. That's a really important thing you have to do and have to be really good at. And that book was called Strategic Selling. It's actually recommended by my boss Laura, and she's also my mentor. And that's one book I've been reading. And the other things I've been doing is really follow some of the resources that's available online, like Techstar Toolkit. That's a really good resource for anyone who wants to start their own business. There are like stages and tutorials and worksheets that you can work on to build your business model canvas, to build your elevator pitch, to build your team, and to build your product, and every aspect that you can imagine that have to come into place in order to make your company or ideas successful.
Are those Techstar toolkits free, or do you have to
Yes.
have a, yeah? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they're 100% free.
And sales. I love the
Yeah.
way you said that, because a lot of times when people hear sales, they think, me selling something to a person and I'm going to get money for what I sell. But you really put it, as kind of the pitch, the presentation,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the sale to the customer, it's also the sale to the investor, it's a sale to employees, it's a sale to
That's right.
suppliers, right?
Right.
So very good. I'm gonna look that up. So man, there's so many things I want to ask you. We got to keep moving though. um I'm gonna switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Yesterday on the show, we had a woman named Tisha King. She
Mm-hmm.
owns a company called Thrift Witch. She
Mm-hmm.
actually is on the another side of fashion because she goes and thrifts. She'll buy clothes and then resell the clothes. Sometimes they're upcycled, sometimes they're just going from one, state in the supply chain to another.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a question for you. And her question was, what's your favorite pop icon?
Honestly, I don't really follow pop culture that much. I would say if I have to choose a pop icon, I would say Blackpink. They're like a four young women singing and dancing team. I really like them because of their music and their dancing, and they're also very pretty. And then for border sense, my icon would be Elon Musk
Mm.
because uh, he's like the man and doing things beyond my imagination. Like I'm just very impressed of all the things he has accomplished and he's currently doing. Yeah.
Um, Blackpink. Well, I'm gonna just talk a little bit. Blackpink, I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is good for me because I'm like you. I don't even know what a pop culture or pop icon would even be. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that question if I was asked that question.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, thanks for doing that. Um, and then the Elon Musk, uh,
Mm-hmm.
people get mixed about him, right?
Oh,
You either love him or you hate him. Uh, what do you say to the haters? Do you know why people hate him that much?
I actually don't know. What
Uh,
was it? Because they think he's too capitalist and he's trying to reopen the factories as the
it,
sake
it,
of other people's benefit. I don't know.
I think part of it's that. I mean, part of it's
Okay.
just how do you get to be a billionaire without kind of being a bastard, if you don't mind me saying that.
Mm.
So I think some of it's, you've got billions and billions of dollars. You're getting more and more wealthy during the pandemic. Yet, you could end homelessness for veterans if you wanted to, just with a small percentage of your money. Why don't you do
Mm-hmm.
that? So, but he's also trying to get us to Mars. He's doing great things
Yeah.
with Tesla and we built Tesla's Powerwall after their model. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so there are great things, but it's so tough to, I don't know. It's easier to pick on
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. I can people have opinions about him. Yeah, like it's easier to pick on Jeff Bezos, right?
Yes. Who is also contributing to the fast fashion problem.
Mm-hmm.
with Amazon and all of that as well. I don't want to mess up any of your future big sales with Amazon, though.
Yeah,
um,
Amazon definitely got the same problem too.
yeah, yeah. So tomorrow on the show, we have Zach, who runs the Capital Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So big time wrestling. We talked a little bit. You're not sure you have seen that before.
No,
Uh,
I I don't think I have ever seen that.
and the WWE said that China was their fastest growing market.
I do
Um,
know WWE.
oh, that's what I'm talking about. The
Okay, yeah,
WWE.
I know that.
Oh, okay. So that's what he does, and he does it in mid Michigan, and I think he gets down to Indiana and Illinois and stuff like that. So kind of a regional wrestling platform.
Mm-hmm.
What question would you like to ask Zach?
Yeah, I guess my question would be, were you ever afraid when you were on stage and you were forced to fight another human being? And if you were, how did you deal with your fear?
I really like that question because there's people that are going to be like they don't understand the pro wrestling, and they'll say, "Oh, that's just fake," and why would he be afraid of anything? Everything is very theatrical, and it's really, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, if you really saw this live, or you were behind the scenes, like I get to be sometimes, these guys get hurt.
I I have
It's
seen
not a
people
yeah.
bleed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a battle where they're really trying to hurt each other, but to get falling, 10 feet, 15 feet onto your back is going to hurt no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that question because I think the answer is probably going to be that he does uh, feel that fear
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit. So I also have to ask you that same question, but since I don't think you've wrestled like that before,
No,
right?
no. I believe most people avoid confrontation to whatever degree. Like even like verbal confrontation, most people might try to avoid it, not let alone like physical ones.
Yeah, unless they're arguing politics on Facebook, though,
Oh
right?
yeah.
But what about fears that you have with your project and what you're doing? Do you
Okay.
ever face fears?
Yes, I do. I like my biggest fear is that I end up working a 9 to 5 job when I'm 30 or 40. Yeah, that's my biggest fear, and I I constantly live with it, and I have to find a way to to make sure that the type of life doesn't happen to me. Because that's just not what I wanted. I wanted to have something of my own and have the freedom and autonomy to control what I do and how do I want to distribute my time and effort.
I love that answer. I love that fear actually, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they might say that their biggest fear is that they're going to fail, or that they're going to I don't know, make some big mistake with other people. If you've got employees and all of that, if you that becomes an obligation that you have to keep
Yeah.
things stable and sustainable and all of that. But I love your fear because it's such an entrepreneurial fear that I don't want to do that grind. I don't want to, my fear is always I'm going to wake up, I'm 90 years old, I'm on my deathbed, and all I did was work for other people. And I've never
Yeah.
really worked for other people. So that's not really my fear, but it was my fear. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Hey, let me do a little business, and then I'm going to come back to you in a second. And my
Okay.
business is a couple of things. One is, um, every damn day, airs every damn day at 2 p.m. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, get in touch with that. 99 Problems, but a Pitch Ain't One happens today at 3. So that's coming up in 30 minutes. And 10,000 Fledges airs every Tuesday at 3 p.m. So check all of those out on our YouTube channel. 10,000 Fledges or 99 Problems. They will also go live on Periscope, on Twitter, and Facebook. So I'm coming back to you, Kai. What's something you would like to take us out with? Some advice, some questions, some comment. It can just be peace if you want.
I think what you're doing is great. And yeah, I don't really have any advice for you. The only one I would say that keep on doing this.
Well, we think what you're doing is great too. It's one of our core values to protect the environment, and I think that's a big part of what you're doing. I also think that there's a lot of fair trade type things. There's a lot of what's happening with the labor force in some of these manufacturing environments, and I think you're solving a lot of really good world problems that could have an impact on many, many people. Something I saw on your Facebook page was, what is it? What makes me happy? Is that
yeah.
what you wrote?
Yeah, I wrote that.
That's our mission, is to create opportunity to pursue happiness. And what makes you happy? Let's go out with that.
I would say work on the things I love to do and be with people I love to be with. That makes me happy.
I can't even say anything more than that. We're leaving on that statement right there. Perfect. Thank you so much, Kai.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.